Hello, hello, what is up? I am live once again. This time, I'm live on 3 platforms. New camera angle. I am excited for today. Because today, God dang it, today is a good day. Welcome all, welcome one. Today is a brand new day. Today we're going to start something new that I want to start doing and incorporating into my content, which is sports, NFL. I'm so used to my camera being there. The NFL. And I talked to my friends about it, and I was like, I want to talk about sports. I want to do a sports show, or at least a sports segment, maybe once, twice a week, as we go into today, kick off in about an hour. And in that hour, here on X and YouTube, I will be live to discuss this NFL past week 2, and this upcoming season. We will get this out and done before kickoff so that you guys can enjoy the Buffalo Bills versus the Dolphins, which I don't know how many people are actually going to watch that game, but we'll see. My parlay will be opened and will be given to you at the end. I'm nervous, but I didn't practice one earlier and it went well, so I'm excited to get started. Welcome to AD's Sugar Sports Show. What's up, Mikey? I'm doing this before we game. I'm live on YouTube and X to do sports. And then after that, I'm gonna cut the X and YouTube live to just go on Twitch for Valorant after with you guys. Okay, so today, welcome to AD Sugar Sports Show, or Sports Broadcast, or Sports Cast is what I like to say. A little bit of history about me. I played high school football varsity, got recruited to D3. I was too short. And during the times when I was getting recruited, I was told I was too short. And in that same time, Aaron Donald was getting drafted into the NFL. And he was dominating on Pitt, but he was 6'1". He was being told, the media was saying that he was too short to be too little to be a dominant defensive tackle in the NFL. And I should say that's not what happened. He became one of, if not the best defensive player to ever play in the National Football League, and I watched him through my whole high school career, trying to emulate my game after him. So I have a real eye when I watch NFL games to the defensive line. Another position I really enjoy is the running back group. Running backs, I've played with a lot of good running backs. I've met some cool running backs. I've actually met Saquon Barkley at a college party, after party at a McDonald's, and I let him kind of lie in front of me. He didn't really cut in front of me. I just kind of like stepped back because it's Saquon Barkley, and I told him to get 2 McDoubles, and he did. Took my advice. Why he's in the league now. Anyways, back to me. So I think I know what a good defensive lineman is supposed to look like, what a good running back is supposed to look like. I've been watching football, taking it seriously, watching it probably for 15 years. Not studying in any kind of way, sports journalism or anything like that, but I figured I'd try to give this a shot, because why not? The fact that I can do this on X and YouTube, I think will do well to reach people who watch sports on those areas, and this would be a great cut up for YouTube videos for segments that we're going to talk about today. Nike, you're in for a treat. I prepared a lot for this. I'm excited. Thank you, Nike Just, my cousin, for being here. But yeah, so I played a little bit of football, and I watched a lot of football. these are just my opinions. These are just my opinions. These aren't facts. These are my opinions, and I will present my opinions to you with what I think is relatively good information. Let's get into it. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Oops. Take that back. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, AD Sugar, NFL Week 1. NFL, AD Sugar's NFL Week 3. Things that I've noticed in this Week 3, in the 2 weeks of the NFL. Excuse my language. I'm getting nervous now. AD Sugar's NFL Week 3. I am your host, AD Sugar. You can call me AD or Sugar or Adrian, whichever you prefer. And turn down your music just a bit. Ooh, it's blasting. And these are the things that I've noticed going into Week 3 in the NFL. Week 2 in the NFL, I think, was a fantastic week for a lot of teams, and pretty rough for some teams. I think a lot of the NFL right now, what we're seeing is a change in what defenses are doing. Defenses are definitely getting way more aggressive. If you see what happened with the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl, everyone saw how to stop the Chiefs, which was just get pressure with four guys and leave guys to be able to cover Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco, well, he was hurt, but DeAndre Hopkins, and make Patrick Mahomes have to throw it in 3 seconds or less. And so a lot of things have changed so far in 2025, the NFL season. Now, I can't recap all of it so far because I missed 2 weeks, but we'll talk about last week and then get into Week 3 of the NFL. First thing we're going to talk about today, I like to call these my 5 sweet takeaways of Week 2 from the NFL. Sweet, get it? Because I'm sugar sweet. Oh, first one. Running backs holding it down. Pay them. Running backs in the NFL tend to be undervalued, underpaid, and overlooked in so many dynamics of the game. But this week, man, we had some good running back play. So when we jump right into it, this is my number 1 running back for this Week 2 of the NFL. It is Bijan Robinson for the Atlanta Falcons. He had 143 yards for 22 carries, 3 catches, 25 yards, 168 total yards of scrimmage from the game, and then 9 missed tackles. He made 9 people miss on him against the Vikings when Michael Penix wasn't doing anything. So here we're gonna see. Hold on. There are no videos available to play. That's no problem. That's no problem. I got it. Bijan. See, this is the film that I saw. This guy. This is the first carry for him of the game. And as you can see here, this is why like Saquon Barkley is being talked about, Derrick Henry is being talked about in the National Football League as like these running backs. There's not that many. No, there is. It's just they come in different size, shapes, and run differently, and it all looks differently. But this is Bijan's first carry of the game. He cuts it up for 25 yards to the left side. Sees this guy, makes him miss, cuts up. Guy bounces off of him. What are we talking about? Oof, get off of me. Gets over, and he gets tackled down. First carry of the game. He's making a statement. He's helping Michael Penix, taking the weight off of the offensive back. And plus, as an offensive lineman, nothing feels better watching your running back run past you. Ready? Here he goes again for 23 yards up to the right tackle at the Minnesota 23. He sees it. He's looking this way. There's a guy right here. When I first watched this run, I was like, take it up the middle right here, easy score. Look what Bijan does. Oh! Gets out of there like nobody's biscuit, brother. Risked it for the biscuit, and it was worth it. This guy came, almost got him, said, psych, I'm out. This guy now runs into here, and he creates a lane to even get even more yards. Bijan, definitely one of the running backs holding it down this past week in the NFL. While watching some of Bijan's film, I did realize that Michael Penix had some missed opportunities, which we'll talk about later. But man, Bijan had a good game. He kept running it up, and it was great. It was great to watch. A lot of people didn't like that Sunday night game, Falcons versus the Vikings, because it wasn't very high scoring. But as someone who loves to watch running back run and play, it was such a good game for Bijan. The next running back on this list of mine of the takeaways is Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor has gone through, I don't know how many quarterbacks in the past couple of years. Starts off with Phillip Rivers, and goes through a bunch of them, to Carson Wentz, to drafting Anthony Richardson. It doesn't work out. And now he's with Indiana Jones, Danny Dimes. Jonathan Taylor had 165 yards for 25 carries, 2 catches for 50 yards, 10 missed tackles. And my interesting stat for this week for Jonathan Taylor, he played 92.5% of the time on the offensive snaps. And even while doing that, this man had the toughness and the jib to take this nice out route and take it for 43 yards. And not against anybody, against Patrick Surtain. Hit him with the ooh. Easy. Daniel Jones, this is what quarterbacks need to realize, is that you need to make a decision now. It's now, especially in the NFL. And there's a lot of quarterbacks who still haven't learned that. And we see that Danny Jones gets in the form, sees it, rips it, lets him go, let Jonathan Taylor make a play. Boom. Takes it to the crib. We watch here through the end zone, see if he reads the pressure. He's lined up on the left side. We got a tight end, Tyler Warren, right over here. It looks like 5 guys, potentially a 5-man blitz. Potentially. We got this guy here. He looks like he's going. This guy might back off. We'll see. In motion. Nope. It is a 5-man blitz. Tyler Warren goes up. These guys triple all here because if you see right here, great play. Motions Jonathan Taylor. This linebacker is watching Jonathan Taylor. Gets over here. Snaps the ball. Runs into his guy. Boom, money. Too slow, a little bit. On. Great play from Jonathan Taylor. That doesn't show all of what he has done for the Colts that week. He did so much more. Carrying for 25 times, 2 catches for 50 yards, and was on the field 92.5% of the time the Colts were on offense. It's great to see somebody use that man right. My next running back from week 2, kind of a hidden gem. Seahawks aren't a team that are being talked about as much because sort of in a rebuild, sort of not really. So we're gonna hop into Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker was fun to watch. It was probably the only thing that made this game entertaining if you were not a Steelers fan, that you were watching somebody run the ball nice, and that was Kenneth Walker. We go here. It's 3rd and goal. It's 3rd and goal at the Seahawks, and they're in the Pittsburgh 19. Little cut of the jib. They're just trying to set up for a field goal. Hey, give it to Kenneth Walker. We'll gain 5 or plus yards, 4 or 5 yards, kick a 15-yard field goal, no problem. Instead, Kenneth Walker says, nah, I'm gonna take this to the crib, oosh, and loop-de-doo, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's not the only thing And I gotta give credit to the Seattle Seahawks because of this. They help him out. They've given my man a fullback. And by that, I mean, look at this right here. This guy. My man, Robbie Oops. Cleared 2 defenders with 1 block. Boom. Boom. Did you not just see what happened here? My man said, us. Cook them. I want you to see the cut right here. Gets this guy. Hits the block there. Now watch this defender. Kenneth Walker's over here running. Ooh. Plants that right foot. Oh no. Oh. What are we talking about? Kenneth Walker. Hidden gem for the Seattle Seahawks over down there. And I'm worried because they are in the NFC West division with me next on my list of running backs. Is James Cook. Not much to show here. James Cook is James Cook. He had 2 touchdowns for 21 carries and 132 yards for those carries. 1 reception, 10 yards. And the interesting thing that I saw from the Buffalo Bills coming in from week 2 is in the entire 2 weeks of the NFL season, 76.5% of their snaps have been under center. So that just kind of shows you what type of offense the Bills are trying to run. They're trying to run it down your throats, pound it in your face. And honestly, I respect it. Going under center is very uncommon nowadays. A lot of quarterbacks going from college to NFL struggle with going under center and taking that 7-step drop back in the pocket. So love to see that. Obviously, last year's MVP is crushing it with James Cook there with 132 yards, 2 TDs. Come on now, what a day. Another running back from my top 5 list is going to be Javonte Williams at number 5. 18 carries, 97 yards, 1 TD, 6 receptions for 33 yards. This guy's a sleeper, man. This guy's a sleeper. I think the Cowboys have a good run game. If you saw them play against the Eagles and you saw them play against the Giants when they needed to get some short yardage, Javonte Williams was in the backfield and they were giving him the ball. Great game out of him. Okay, honorable mentions for our running backs. We have Irving for the Buccaneers. He went 17 carries for 71 yards. We had Jahmyr Gibbs from the Lions. Not to say that the Lions weren't the Lions, but the Lions also threw 3 touchdowns to Amon-Ra St. Brown. So not really, it wasn't really the running back, wasn't necessarily putting that much of an impact as much as a pass game. However, Jahmyr Gibbs, 12 carries, 94 yards, 1 TD. Let's get it, brother. Alvin Kamara. No one understands. Alvin Kamara's probably been in the league, I don't know how long, but he's the most consistent running back I've seen. Dude went 21 carries, 99 yards. I don't know. I think Alvin Kamara is like 35 years old at this point. I have no idea. But that dude is a beast. W to Alvin Kamara. Still putting in work. So those are my top 5 running backs from week 2, and I think also a combination of week 1. I think I didn't put Bucky Irving in my top 5, but honestly, like, he had a really good week 1. Javonte Williams, man, he dominated. You know what I mean? I think honestly, when he played against the Eagles, he ran some dudes over, and that was great to see. And then James Cook, he was a part of the huge comeback against the Ravens. 2 touchdowns, 142 yards. Come on now, that's insane. And, you know, Kenneth Walker, keep doing his thing. The Seattle Seahawks helping him out. Jonathan Taylor, Colts haven't punted in 2 weeks. Who would have thunk it? And Brian Robinson, man, watch out for Brian Robinson. Okay, next thing we're going to be talking about today in the Sugar Sweet 5 takeaways from NFL Week 2. It's the saddest one, quarterbacks. A lot of heartbreak going on right now, folks. A lot of heartbreak going on right now. Listen, my quarterback is 41 years old, 39 years old, Matthew Stafford. I don't know. But at least he's not Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow expected to miss at least 3 months with a turf toe injury. For those of you who don't know what a turf toe injury is the ligament of your toe, kind of like this finger Kind of like how you push off your hand like this, like you push off your feet. You know, when you walk, your feet kind of go like this. So the part that's kind of like right here on your toe and your foot, on your, like kind of on my palm is my foot, that part is gone. So every time he walks, every step I take, it hurts like a motherfucker. So that's considered turf toe. That ligament is either torn, it's grade 3 potentially, so he will need surgery if that is the case. That is tough, man. The Bengals schedule going ahead 3 months, that's 12 weeks in the NFL, folks. That's 12 weeks. So they're gonna play the Viking next, who have a backup quarterback. Then they're playing the Broncos, who have a great defense, the Lions, the Packers, the Steelers. Okay, so you win against the Vikings, you lose against the Broncos, the Lions, and the Packers. I'm sorry, you lose those 3. You're 3-3. You go up to PA, you play the Steelers. You can pull off a win there, divisional championship, divisional opponent. You got the Jets, should win. Got the Bears, should win. You're on a bye. We still got 3 more games. 4 more games. Let's play the Steelers again. Then you got the Patriots, Ravens, Bills. So you're hoping that by the time you play the Ravens and Bills, you are 6-6 as the Cincinnati Bengals. 6-6. No, sorry, 8-8, because you're gonna go to week 14. 7-7. Apologies. 7-7 against the Buffalo Bills to then play the Ravens again. But in the last 3 weeks of the NFL, the last 3 weeks for the Cincinnati Bengals are easy. You're playing the Dolphins, the Cardinals, and the Browns. That's a easy 3 win to pad the stats to hopefully go into the playoffs with a home field advantage. Next quarterback on the list of the injuries. Dan Quinn said, quarterback Jayden Daniels will not practice today. Said he threw on the field today and had a good rehab session. Said he will know more Friday about his status for Sunday. We're going to be smart, not just fast, Quinn said. He called it a good start to the week for him. That, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. A good start to the week for him, and he's not practicing. I don't know if that's a good start for the week. However, Jayden Daniels is a beast. He is a dog. There is no way he is not going to play. But it is a knee injury we're talking about here. Knee injuries take you out for a long time. And he's young, man. Sophomore year in the NFL. Is it worth playing the Raiders? Potentially tearing ACL? Marcus Mariota can do it. It's the Raiders. Geno Smith's going to throw a bunch of picks. Because then if you play against the Raiders, they play the Falcons, Chargers, and then the Bears. Falcons, Chargers, you're going to want Jayden Daniels. The Bears, doesn't really matter who you play against. And the Cowboys, we'll see. Ooh, give me 1 second. So that's very interesting to see where the Commanders go without Jayden Daniels, because where Jayden Daniels go, they kind of go. And they got Deebo Samuels. Risky to not at least take the week off versus the Raiders, because you got 2 big back-to-back games the following 2 weeks with the Falcons and the Chargers, folks. That's a tough one. I feel bad for Commanders fans. I'm rooting for you guys, though. I am a Commanders fan. Ooh, painful. But is it really, though? Cut the music. Is it really, though? This dude was playing like trash. Playing like trash. Kevin O'Connell deserves better than this as for his quarterback appearance. But as I watched the Pat McAfee show, they brought up a good point. Nothing really matters. You can't learn much from a clipboard. You need to get in the game. So JJ McCarthy being out for potentially 2 to 4 weeks. Have their schedule here as well. They're gonna play the Bengals, backup quarterback, Steelers, and Browns, and then you're at a bye. I think you can take those times off but we're going to see the Carson Wentz magic for these next 3 weeks, potentially. But do you tell him, hey, we got the Eagles, Chargers, and Lions, Ravens without you. Come back for the Bears, maybe play the Packers and Seahawks. Who knows what's going to happen with JJ McCarthy? Because, man, this is not the season we wanted to see for him. And I am not a Vikings fan, but I love Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen considers this one of his kids. So, JJ, we're rooting for you, brother. Hopefully all goes well and you come back better than ever. Okay. Not only are we talking about QB injuries, we're also going to be talking about quarterback development. The last quarterback before I move on from that, the last quarterback before I move on from that is Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy might also be out with a hamstring issue. So that's going to be very interesting to see. However, Mac Jones kind of crushed it. With the Kyle Shanahan office. So I'm not too stressed for Mac Jones and Kyle Shanahan because they're playing the Jaguars. Well, they play Cardinals and the Jaguars. And let's say you get Purdy back for the Rams, Bucks, and the Falcons and the Texans. That's pretty good. But if it's after 2 more weeks, the 49ers have a tough schedule going in for the next 4 weeks after that. Then you have a break versus the Giants. Then you're against the Rams, Cardinals, Panthers, Browns. Got to bye. Yeah, so kind of want Purdy for the middle part of this season, looking at the 49ers schedule. We'll see. Nothing confirmed how long he'll be out yet. That is also another concern. Okay, that's it for the QB injuries. Now we'll get into QB development. A lot of quarterbacks got drafted last year and was told that 2024 was going to be one of the best quarterbacks draft class going into the NFL, with I believe 7 or 8 of the first 12 were quarterbacks. I believe. I do not remember. Do not quote me on that. I do not remember. But since those quarterbacks have been in the league, some of them have progressed, some of them haven't. We just talked slightly about JJ. But we'll get a little bit more in depth here with my first off struggle bus. Man, listen, all you really got to do when I got this thing called NFL Plus, and it gives me choke my beard and nodding my head in agreement at every take. I appreciate you, Pat. Thanks. Thank you, Nike, for the sub, for the gifted sub. I appreciate it. First quarterback we're talking about in development, struggles and issues, problems adjusting to the NFL, I would say. I think that's fair to say. Adjusting to the NFL, last year was not his best year, and it was definitely rough to watch as a fan of football, especially because we wanted him to do good. Yes, we're talking about Caleb Williams. Listen, you just have to turn on the tape, and I just put pass plays, and you can see that, like, for the first quarter, the first scripted plays, he's doing great. Because in the NFL, especially in the NFL, and sometimes in high school, if you get to that level, if you're playing football in Texas, you're probably studying film like this. However, it's rare that a quarterback. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Where am I at? Oh, I did passing. Why was I talking about different schools? Doesn't matter where you play. Oh, the scripted. So you go into the week usually with 5 to 10 to maybe 15 plays that you're gonna run to start the game, no matter what, just so you can get your offense in a rhythm. And Caleb does those 15 plays really well. It's after that, right? So you watch the first quarter of this, and this is just his pass plays in the first quarter. But honestly, some of these are tough to watch, right? Like, he throws an incomplete pass short over to Can't pronounce his name. I apologize. Boom. What are we doing? There's also a lot of missed opportunities with Caleb Williams. I don't know what's going on with quarterbacks now, and maybe it's because they're being coached this way where they're not trained to throw the deep ball. Like, okay, just pause the film right here. Where are your reads? Because why are you throwing the 3-yard versus the, what is that, 12-yard pass? That's the thing. I don't know what the play call is. I don't know what his reads are, but there's just many plays like this where instead of doing maybe the most optimal play, they just do the check down. They just get the completion, which isn't going to win you the game in the NFL, but it is going to progress you as a quarterback to understand defense is better, but you're not going to get it anywhere in the league with that. Here, you got my guy breaking out into a inside post route. DJ Moore covered up, Rome Odunze covered up, this guy's covered, throws a ball down the middle in double coverage, right here. So if you can do that, you should be able to, this is the part that frustrates me, but I understand it because it's hard, because you don't want to throw a pick, because these are completely different plays, right? Like, if he throws here and this guy bounces on the ball, jumps on and gets a pick, now he's an idiot and we're talking about it differently, versus you throw the check down, you get the play, no one says anything, you get 1 yard, but it's 2nd and 5. You know, you need to get more than just 1. Let's look at this right here. He did have this beautiful pass to Rome Odunze, so there is a lot of progression going on with Caleb Williams. I love what I'm seeing in terms of progress. It's just, as a quarterback, look at that. I mean, wide open down the field, though. Makes a play, cuts inside, gets to the end zone. There's nothing much more you can ask from that. You also need to balance a little bit of the run game. This, I think, was a ridiculous pass for no reason. I think he's just trying to lay it up out there. Maybe Caleb Williams needs a little bit more freedom. Look, he tosses this up in double coverage and absolutely overthrows the guy. Doesn't even allow him to make a play. That's tough. That is very, very tough. So there are a lot of improvements from Caleb Williams. I do think he is struggling to understand the concept of maybe doing your own thing a little bit. Like, look at that pass. What a pass. What a beautiful pass. He has definitely improved. His accuracy is there. He does have this tendency to hold on to the ball too long, but I think with a little bit of time, and like Dan Orlovsky said, give him 8 weeks, and then we can really judge Caleb Williams for what Caleb Williams is. Okay, next quarterback going into week 2 that looked like they needed. We're watching the development, right? A lot of rookie quarterbacks in the league. This one is probably my favorite because I hope he's the quiet one that becomes the GOAT of the class. There's always hope. I, as someone who's watched NFL for so long, can only have so much hope, but I still have hope. This is Michael Penix Jr. And in week 2, again, a lot of missed opportunities. First play here, you're just gonna see it, man. You're gonna see it. Kyle Pitts, there's even a play where Kyle Pitts waves at him and says, hey, throw me the ball. Low snap, that's tough. You got a guy here. Like, there's a guy here. This dude's busy. There's no pressure on you. Instead, throws it to Kyle Pitts. Safety, I understand. Plus, this guy ended up just running into this area. I get it. I get it. I just feel like a lot of people can do more. A lot of quarterbacks can make that tight window throw or better, because wait a minute, we gotta go back to that. Here's why I'm upset about this play. I'm just remembering. Sorry, I line up a lot of film and I don't remember why for some parts, but here we go. It's 3rd and 10. This is why this made me mad. It's 3rd and 10. It's 3rd and 10. You need to get the first down. The Falcons did not get a touchdown in the end zone, I think, until the fourth quarter, because they're in the red zone and doing absolutely nothing. Because here we go, it's 3rd and 10. Release the ball. As soon as this guy, you see this guy right here is ready to catch the ball. And guess what, brother? Here's a first down marker. Here's the first down marker. That's a first down, if I've ever seen one. Instead, plays it safe. Boom. If he anticipates this receiver coming out, now that's what the relationship comes in, where time comes in and all that. If he anticipates and knows this receiver is going to bang this head here left, boom, throws the ball. This guy thought he was catching it. So things like that, that's just the first play. That's the first pass play of Michael Penix for that Sunday night game. But it pretty much all correlates to the same thing, where he's having these opportunities to throw the ball, to get the first down, and for some reason, man, he's just not trusting his reads, his receivers. They have a great run game. That's why they won the game, because of Bijan Robinson. But besides that, man, I don't know, man. We need to see some more out of these young quarterbacks. I think one of the best ones to do it right now, going into the week 3 of 2025 season. I mean, Drake May had a great comeback win against the Miami Dolphins. Bo Nix is absolutely second to Jaden Daniels in that draft class. Cam Ward had a good game, throw across the arm. CJ Stroud's kind of struggling right now. CJ Stroud has also been under kind of that same boat of like not necessarily. There's talks about CJ Stroud being better his rookie year than the year he is now, which is crazy. I understand that. CJ Stroud's in his 3rd year in the league. He is definitely better now than he was before. I just think that it's a different era for him, and he's going to struggle a bit because he doesn't have a good offensive line. Pass a little bit on the outside, a bit rough. No offensive lines. I think, when I think of CJ Stroud, it's looking like it's kind of like the Bengals situation, no? Where like your offensive line is just can't protect you. You got weapons on the outside, but if their 4 men can come and lay you out all day, every day, it doesn't really matter. Now, CJ Stroud, however, still stays in the pocket, is very much a pocket passer, will use his legs when he needs to. And I think this next play here drops an absolute banger to Nico Collins on the right side of the end zone for a touchdown. And so he still has it. I think he's just struggling a bit with, look at that, all the time in the world, tosses it up, boom, Nico Collins, touchdown. Excuse me. I think he's got it. I think he's still got the moxie. Just a rough week. New offensive coordinator as well, don't forget it. We got rid of the old one. We'll see what happens within the coming weeks for CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. Quarterbacks honorable mentions, like I said, Drake May. Great big win for Drake May and the Patriots. Patriots defense did a good job there. Bo Nix, even though lost the game, I don't necessarily put that on him. A lot of reps got in the way of that. And Cam Ward. We will talk about Cam Ward, because the next topic we're talking about in Sugar's 5 sweet takeaways from NFL Week 2 is the rookies. The 2025 rookies of this year, I think, that aren't quarterbacks, are doing pretty well. For example, you got my guy, excuse me. Should have remember. You got my guy Isaiah Tesla. Rookie for the Detroit Lions.
You know, they're just not playing for the field goal only. There's Goff. Oh, he does it again.
The rookie does it yeah. He does it again. Look at this. Beats his guy outside. Jared Goff tosses up to him. Boom, cash money. All day, every day. We love to see it. I was one of the rookies that I saw this week that I think did a really good job. Even though he only had one catch, that one catch changed the whole momentum of that game. Forgive me. Next on the rookies for 2025 of week 2, I think they had a really good game and presence. It kind of goes hand in hand. It's going to be Cam Ward and Alik Ayomanor. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, it's this guy. Creamsicle, I love you.
On the body as the ball was hitting the receiver. 3rd down and 6.
Now I want some bang bang shrimp.
Yeah, you're hungry. Play. It was.
This is against my Rams.
As the ball was hitting the receiver.
But this was an insane catch. 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, you're hungry. It's almost halftime.
Fantastic.
12 yards away from the red zone. Throws it.
Oh, nice toe! He drops it in the bucket.
Dropped it in the bucket. We'll run it one more time. Alik Ayomanor had 4 catches for 56 yards and 1 TD. He also had that amazing one-handed catch right here. And on top of it, on the next play, this is why it kind of goes hand in hand. Cam Ward with a beautiful ball. But the next play here, Cam Ward went 19 of 33 for 175 yards. Sadly, however, he did get sacked 5 times. I mean, you're playing the Rams, you know? You're playing the Rams. Anyways, got sacked 5 times. Still had a good game. And I'm going to show you here.
Bang. Offense in the first half, they had 133.
This amazing Cam Ward across the body.
49 seconds to play. Second quarter. Ward looking. Looping out of trouble. Trying to set up receivers. He's going to throw against his body to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown.
Amazing catch and throw from the Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward across the body. Insane. Other rookie we're looking at played in this exact same game. If you don't know, now you know. Keep your eyes on him. Josiah Stewart, our 3rd round pick for the Los Angeles Rams. On this play, he had a hold and still got to the sack. He's very sturdy, sets the edge. He's eager and fast, and he has very good interior use. The Rams are using him in the interior of their D line, which I love to see. He's aggressive. The beast. Watch this play.
And Evan, this is the 9th play of the drive. Ward has looked comfortable, but not when he's getting hit in the backfield.
And the
Flags
flag was still
Josiah
down
Stewart.
for the hold. Greatness out of him. Other rookies that are doing really well in the NFL, I have to give it to Emeka Egbuka. In the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 4 receptions for 29 yards, 1 TD. That TD was amazing. That was a screen pass to Egbuka. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers use him in very many different ways. What a sentence. The Buccaneers use him in different ways, whether it be in jet sweeps or screens, which you love to see that they have enough confidence in him to kind of have a package for him, as you would say it. Tyler Warren, pause no diddy. Tyler Warren, another rookie for the Colts, I think is playing phenomenal, potentially one of the best tight ends in the league. going into week 3 of the 2025 season. Has amazing yards after catch, and he is a playmaker. This guy, I did not see this guy until I went onto the Pro Football Focus to see what rookies to look out for, and they recommended me. They actually rated this guy number 2, Jaheed Campbell, for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I watched some film on him. Inside linebacker, really good. Has really good vision. They got 3 tackles, allowed 1 catch on him. He's really good in coverage, and he's really good at stopping the run. Hey, folks, we're almost done with AD Sugar's first sports podcast. In this, we're gonna go to our 4th topic, which is a little bit more lighthearted. Not gonna be a serious, but it's more of a discussion or of a question. Not really an analysis per se. But I think the question right now is, who's better? The AFC or NFC? And if you want, we can go down. Here, I'll give it to you right now. I have the standings for week 2. Week 2, the current standings for the AFC East goes Bills, Patriots, Jets, Dolphins. We're worried about the Dolphins. We're all worried about the Dolphins being also below the Jets and having a lower PF score is crazy. AFC North goes Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. The Bengals on top of the AFC North with Joe Burrow. That is crazy. AFC South, we got the Colts, Jaguars, Titans, and Texans. Colts are the only 1-2-0 in that division. AFC West, we have the Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, and Chiefs. Chargers are the only 2-0 in that division. Bills are the only 2-0 in the AFC East division, and the Bengals are the only 2-0 in that division. The East has 2 0-2 teams. The North has 1. The South has 2. The West has 1 with the Chiefs at 0-2. The South with the Texans and the Titans at 0-2. And now we get into the NFC. And this is what I mean by NFC versus AFC. Because a lot of times in this quarterback-driven league, we have a lot of quarterbacks. We say the AFC is loaded with heavy, talented quarterbacks. But what about the NFC? We have the Eagles at 2-0. Commanders 1-1. You got Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott. I think he gets slept on for the Cowboys. The Cowboys having trading Marcus Parsons has made me give them sympathy. Because I cannot imagine trading away Puka Nacua, per se. That is a dumb idea. The Giants 0-2 need to get the win. They play the Chiefs. That's gonna be a tough game for them to win. The NFC North, you got the Packers at 2-0. The Packers and the Eagles. Now, if you go Packers Eagles against the AFC, I don't know, the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chargers, and maybe the Colts. I'll give you maybe the Colts. I would say the 4 toughest teams in the AFC. I'll give you those 4 teams. But then in the NFC already, right here, I see the Eagles, the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings, the Commanders. That's 5 teams right there that I think are really good. Were really good, however, in 2024, and that's 2025, as we see with JJ McCarthy and Caleb Williams. Jordan Love, though, is slinging that, dude. I think Jordan Love is doing great. I keep thinking my camera's over here. I think Jordan Love is doing great work at the quarterback position, leading the Hall of Fame quarterbacks legacy still intact for the Green Bay Packers. They're a God Squad team. The Buccaneers, NFC South, 2-0. However, they also have 2 2-0 teams in that division with the Saints and the Panthers. Man. The NFC South and the AFC South are the only 2 divisions with 2. Sorry, I lied. The AFC East, oof, are the only 2 divisions with 2 1-2 teams. And this is where the conversation, god dang it, this is where the conversation comes into play for the best, strongest, maybe toughest division in the NFC West. it in the NFC being the NFC West, with the 49ers at 2-0, the Cardinals at 2-0, the Rams at 2-0, and the Seahawks at 1-1. That division is going to get spiced up. Someone's losing this week. I think the 49ers and who else plays? No, the 49ers and the Cardinal play this week. So should be very interesting to see the debates between AFC, NFC this year, because I think the NFC has a chance to say that, like, hey, we got some talented quarterbacks on our side of the division, of the conference as well. Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, Michael Penix is a work in progress. We have Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, JJ McCarthy is a work in progress. You know, Lions, Jared Goff, you know, is a good quarterback, stable quarterback. I think the NFC definitely has more of a stable quarterback catalog compared to the AFC, where the AFC, it's either goats or bust, and I'd rather have stable. I'm okay with stable. So that's kind of what I wanted to bring up, because I think the NFC, man, I think the NFC is a stacked conference as well. And the Eagles just showed that. I mean, but the Eagles crushing everybody in that conference. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. Can the Lions take them down? Can the Packers go in and take them down? We'll see. Okay. Last thing going in here, I'm just going to go over these quickly. Last thing I wanted to show you guys was, thank you all for being here for my show, first episode. The defensive line of week 2. I watched all the sacks that happened this past week. Watch all the sacks that happened this past week, and I was watching the defensive lines, because I told you guys I love a defensive line. I love a good defensive line, and I had like 8 teams on my list, and I narrowed it down to 5. The 5 top defensive line of NFL in the NFL for me personally, going into week 3 of the NFL season, with kickoff starting in 5 minutes. Is number 1. I have the Packers at number 1. Micah Parsons has 1.5 sacks. Gary is close to is in top 5 of the sack leaders with 2.5 sacks. No, he is not. I'm sorry. He is in the top 10 with 2.5 sacks. I think their defensive line has a lot of depth, and that's why I have them at number 1, because the depth in that defensive line is phenomenal. You got Van Ness. They got 8 sacks, 21 pressures last week, 48 rushing yards per game. They average 238 yards per game. They're the 2nd overall defense going into NFL week 3. They're the 2nd run defense, and they're the 10th pass defense. The only thing that they're weak on their stats 2 weeks into the NFL is their 20th on the red zone. The next defense going into week 3 is the Browns defense. I'm sorry. Myles Garrett is a GOAT. He does amazing things. He can still be, he's still defensive player of the year, you know. He can still go out there and crush and dominate. They have 6 sacks combined. Myles Garrett had 4 pressures last game alone. They're the number 1 run defense. Derrick Henry, they kept Derrick Henry to 23 yards. They had 4 tackles for losses, and they average 191 yards per game. In the NFL Pro Next Gen stats, they're actually, I think, ranked number 1, but I do not have them that high. They need to do a lot more to be number 1. However, they're still a very good defense, especially keeping Derrick Henry to 23 yards last week. On the opposite side of the ball, we have the Ravens at number 3 for me. The stats don't look good going into week 3 because obviously they lost to the Buffalo Bills, who dropped 41 on them. However, Roquan Smith, man, that dude's a dog. Kyle Hamilton. I just think their defense is really good. They got Chuck Pagano in the secondary, and that Ravens defense in front and that secondary. Something to watch out for, boy. Let me tell you, they're going to get in rhythm here, and they will do it quickly with 8 tackles for losses so far, 20 pressures, 3 sacks. Metambike, 92 for the Ravens, also doing great work for them. Number 4 on my list is going to be the Los Angeles Rams. Here we go, baby. Number 4. Not higher because we did not do as good as my expectations for Los Angeles Rams should be for the defense. However, 17 pressures, amazing. 6 sacks, 5 sacks last week. We had Jared Verse, Byron Young, Josiah Stewart, and Kobe Turner. We got a young defensive line, man. The only problem I have with us right now is that we need to finish tackles. I love tackles we're not finishing, and it's just not looking good on film. And we need to wrap up and grab them to the ground. Well, number 5 defensive line going into week 3 is the Falcons. Listen, the rookie Jalen Waller looks phenomenal. They've only allowed 3 TDs in 2 weeks. They average 229 yards per game, 7 sacks. They are the only team in the NFL with double digits yards after catch allowed. What do I mean by that? Their defense has allowed a 95 yards after the catch. Every other defense going into week 3 is already at triple digits. That's saying something. This Falcons defense, Raheem Morris, he ain't messing around. Watch out for these Falcons defense, man. I like the linebacker they had. I forget his name. But like I said, Jalen Waller. They had their 2 first-round picks. James Pierce Jr. looked phenomenal. Watch out, man. Falcons, we just need that offense to get going, and there will be a team definitely mess with. Honorable mentions going for the defensive line. Chargers looked really good against the Raiders. The Bucs defensive line stopped the run quite often against the Houston Texans. The Texans defensive pass rush looked good. I would say the pass rush looked really good. And the Seahawks, I don't know what's going on with Mac McDonald down there in Seattle, but that boy knows how to approach a defense, and I love it. Okay, it's officially kickoff. Going into the kickoff, my parlay pick for the day is okay, ready to write this down. I have the spread for Buffalo, 60+ yards for James Cook. Keon Coleman, anytime touchdown. James Cook, anytime touchdown. So kickoff starts now. Before the game starts, I will leave you with these quick tidbits of going into week 3. We didn't talk matchups. I can go over those quickly. We'll go to matchups real quick. Going into week 3, we got the Bills versus the Dolphins. Easy money on the Buffalo Bills taking down the Dolphins. That's not a sweat right there. We got the Bills Falcons versus Panthers. Falcons, easy. Packers versus Browns. Give me the Packers. Texans versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is a game where CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans really need to get back and beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. However, the Jaguars too look good. But I'm going to have a vote of confidence and take the Texans to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then we have Cincinnati versus Minnesota Vikings. I will think that Carson Wentz is going to take the top off that defense. I just have a feeling. Wentz Mania is coming to town. Steelers versus the Patriots. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to cook Drake May unless Mark Vrabel has something that Aaron Rodgers hasn't seen before in his entire NFL career. Los Angeles Rams versus the Eagles. This I will not choose because I like both teams a lot. However, the Rams are my favorite team, so I'm going to choose the Rams. But this is the highlight game of the week for sure. Los Angeles Rams 2-0 going against the Philadelphia Eagles 2-0. Next, we have the New York Jets versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're taking the Bucks on that. We love Baker. Colts versus Titans. Ooh. Cam Ward could sneak a win in there, but I think the Colts are going to take that away. Raiders versus Commanders. That is going to be a question mark because I don't know what Jaden Daniels is playing or not. Broncos versus Chargers. That is a good game. I'm going to star that game. I'm not going to have a dog in that fight. I like both teams equally. None of them are necessarily my team, so I'm just going to enjoy that game. New Orleans Saints versus Seattle. I think Seattle is going to win. Dallas Cowboys versus the Bears. The Bears need to get this win, but the Cowboys are going to take them down. And the 49ers are for shoot going to take care of the Cardinals. The Chiefs will crush the Giants. And the Ravens versus the Baltimore. Against the Detroit Lions. Who's going to be epic. Okay. Thank you so much for being on here on this week's edition of Sports Show. This was fun. It was a lot of fun. I've had a blast. This was great. All my notes, all my things. I pretty much got it done in an hour. If I wanted to take some more time with things, I could have. Biggest taking notes though, as I leave you. Kicker doinks, man. What's up with the kickers, dog? That's tough. That's tough. I'll probably be live again this weekend to talk about probably Saturday or Sunday, and we will discuss other things happening into week 2 that might affect week 3 picks. Yeah. Teams I like this week though, going into week 3 are Seattle. I like the Jaguars, Colts, Bucks, Packers, Falcons, 49ers. Stout on the 49ers is a beast. Who did I pick? Versus the Jags? It's the Texans. I don't know, man. We're gonna see what's up with CJ Stroud, but I have faith in DeMeco Ryan. I gotta say this. I gotta watch film on the Jacksonville Jaguars. To be honest with you, I'm going on my own personal biases and not researching, just hoping that the Texans do beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in week 3. What else? Colts wide receiver core. The Colts wide receiver core is balling out. Make sure you guys check them out. And that is all I have for you guys today. Listen. I appreciate all my friends being here, everyone who watched. At first I was nervous and then I feel like I got into a groove. I'll definitely be uploading segments of this onto my YouTube channel, to make sure to check out my YouTube page at lifestylesugar.youtube.com. Also follow me on Twitter. I am live on X and YouTube currently. The VOD will stay up, and Twitter, hello. X, everything up, hello. First stream on here. Now I'm going to go DJing in game with my friends. So that is all for the sports show. I hope you guys enjoy this new camera angle as well. Thank you guys so much for being here on YouTube and on X. I will see you guys next time for sports. If you want to see me game with friends and play Valorant and hang out, it's something where I'm not as structured. When I'm just kicking it with friends, go watch my twitch.tv/lifestylestruth. Lifestyle Sugar. I'm going to be changing the name to AD Sugar, Adrian Sugar. So we'll go with that. Twitter handle at IAD Sugar. I'll be tweeting the game and also live while playing with my friends while watching the game on this monitor. So It'll be fun. Thanks for everyone watching on YouTube and X. I will see you guys on Twitch.